The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, hello everyone. I was just here it is. Okay. I just want to make sure that everyone can see my screen and hear me okay. I am all alone today doing this. Everyone is either in a meeting or a call. So I do want to just confirm that we're good to go. Normally I have someone. Okay, thank you everyone. Just a little nervous because I am all alone, so making sure that we're working. All right, so today we are doing Hanna presentations, and if anyone, okay, so we're still it looks like maybe just a few people can't hear, but it might just be based on those offices or making sure your computer is not on mute, because it looks like the majority. Let's see. So people can hear me, but they can't see anything. It should be, okay. Thank you, everyone. We are on the Go Hanna screen. Thanks, Gwen. We are doing Hanna presentations today. Kevin is going to try to pop in at the end to help with some of the questions. But just so everyone knows, we are going to wait until the end for the questions. It will be too hard for me to try to field questions while I'm going through and reading, plus still trying to show the Hanna presentations. Before I get started, I want to show a few things. Usually people ask about the handouts that come with all of these webinars. And Hanna Presentations has such a plethora of handouts that I could not upload all of them. So there's only, that only allows for 5. So I wanted to show everyone where these are. So if you go to your Go Hanna and click Documents, on the side there'll be a Training and Education button, or folder, I should say. In there is the Hanna Tools training materials, and they will be for every single tool that we have. So you would just click the Hanna Presentations, and there is a help document for every single thing that you would need to do. Okay, so I just wanted to show everyone where that is. And then the last thing, for those of you who are still wanting to, want to go back and watch some of these webinars, under Training and Education, under Hanna U, you'll scroll all the way to the bottom, Howard Hanna Video Library. And then MarTech Tools Webinars 2018 to 2019. This is where you will find Open to Close Real Scout should be uploaded any moment now. And then we'll be putting Hanna presentations and all the other ones. So just wanted to kind of get that through so everyone could see where all that is. So yes, for the first question, it looks like I can do both at once. There will be a replay available. You guys can get it whenever you want. All right, so let's start with Hanna presentations. So on your Go Hanna screen, you'll click here at the bottom, Hanna presentations. And first thing to point out, this lovely number and the support at howardhanna.com. If you have any questions about anything with Hanna presentations, go ahead and if those documents don't help that I just showed you, save this number. There's the email to help, and you could always contact me as well. The first button over here, Hanna presentations, that's where we're going to get started. All right, so you'll see I do have a few here, and I'm going to show you guys an example of a seller presentation and a buyer presentation. So pretty simple. All you do is click Create New, and you'll do a seller presentation. That's typically what we are using these for, although I do think a buyer presentation is phenomenal, so we will spend time on that. And then if you haven't used anything in presentations, the only option is going to be the default page, the default presentation. You can add, edit, upload, delete pages, and then save it yourself as a template. But right now I'm just going to go ahead and show you the default template. All right, so we'll just say prepared for, your my seller, whatever their name would be. And then click down. I only have access to this MLS. You guys, if you have more than one, it should be down there. But go ahead and select the one that you would want and hit create. All right, few things about this page. Let's double check that there aren't any questions here. Okay. So few things you can browse. You can upload a photo. If you've gone past the house and you have a photo already of it, I would recommend putting that on there, kind of showing them that you've been to that house. And you would just go ahead and click browse, select one of your beautiful photos, or maybe it's one of your old clients with a sold sign, whatever it is, but you can upload that. I'm going to show an example copying from the MLS just to save time. But if you were doing a presentation for something that wasn't in the MLS already, which is typical, you would just go ahead, you could put in, an address. It's going to find it on Google Maps. You can fill in all this information if you want. But really, I would just kind of stick with the subject property information and this top section. A lot of people think they need to fill all of this out. You don't. And especially, there's no reason to if you're hoping to get it as a listing that you'll then put in the MLS. You don't want to have to do that, more than once. So I just went online earlier this morning and I found an expired listing. So just to save some time, I'm going to just copy this link right here, this MLS number, and go back to my Hanna presentations and copy that MLS number in here. Okay, so you'll see it's going to take that image from the MLS. It's going to pick up as much as it possibly can. You can change the remarks if you want. You can delete them. But once everything has kind of been put in there, just go ahead and hit continue. Okay, so now you're on the big MLS search. So this is the subject property. When we want to change, okay, so first question I see, can you copy other agents' MLS numbers and use their photos? I would not. I am just doing this to show you guys to get to the final page of the presentation and to show you the editing. I would put all that in manually. I would do that yourself. Unless it's one that maybe you're relisting and you can find that old MLS number. I think it does only go back about 3 years though. So I would avoid copying a bunch of people's information, but it will pull a lot of that, the rooms, the beds, the bath, location, tax ID, all of that information. But maybe send, I would maybe put, excuse me, I'm trying to read questions at the same time. I need to, I would put a lot of that in yourself. I would not take someone else's pictures or their remarks. Okay, so now we're on the Hanna presentations page. This button right here is probably one that you really need to become familiar with. This filters with the down arrow. Click that down and you're going to notice it's going to take one bed, plus or minus a bed and a bath from that property. So let's say I only wanted 5, whoopsies. I wanted 5 max, no max. The baths are fine, square footage. All of this information you can just pick and choose like you would on the MLS search. So I don't want anything off market, sale, fail. I want to unclick some of these. And then I want to change, it's going to pull the last 90 days. I just want 180. So you guys can choose, fill that in as well. And then price, if you don't want to fill in a price, you don't have to, but you certainly can. We'll scroll down and hit search. So we went from 49 listings to 36. All right, I've not selected any of them, but it does have 36 that so far fit the criteria. So now let's say I wanted to kind of limit to a certain area. Okay, if I want to search an area, there's a few things you can do. You can do the radius search, which is going to do a 2 mile. It's going to default to 2 miles around that subject property. You can click down and make it smaller, or you can turn the radius off. There's also some drawing tools that you can use. So I'm going to zoom in over here. I'm going to zoom in to get to that subject property. And the drawing tool up here, if I wanted to hit draw, this is going to be a wacky shape. So similar to how we did it in Real Scout, you click and you pull. So you can do weird shapes. All right, if you don't like it, you can get rid of it. Or if you just wanted to kind of do a rectangle, you could just do a rectangle. All right, so now it's telling me there's just 3 listings. So let's say maybe I want a little bit more. I can go back to some of my filters. And maybe let's go down in the bath and see if that does anything. Not quite. All right. So you can change these filters again. Click down. Maybe I want to go 365 days. Might be pushing it a little bit. But again, this filters button is where you're going to get a lot of the information that you need to fill in for that CMA. Let's reset our search option so we can get some more back here so I can show you all. Okay, so I'm just going to do a pretty hefty chunk here just so I can show you guys some options that you can do with the all of the listings. So right now we're on the map search. There's going to be 2 other views. There's going to be the list and there's going to be the card search. I think these are a bit more user-friendly to pick and choose the properties that you want to include. So under the list search, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a little bit simpler to kind of read. There's 19 listings. So if I want to click one, I just click. If I don't want to click it, I just unclick. All right. Or if I'm like, let's just keep them all, I can hit select all. And now I have 19 listings. You'll notice up here, this is going to populate with however many listings that you have in your CMA right now. So when I clicked all, it had 19. When I unclick, it will change to 18. So you always realize how many that you have. The card is another view. I'm up here. Right, so this kind of shows little baseball card view. Again, you can select the ones that you want. These are some outliers, I think, with our pricing. So we can unclick a few. All right, so now I'm going to look at the top. How many listings do I have? I have 13 listings. Make sure we like all of them. So I don't have any that are sold, okay? So this would be one where maybe if I went to the MLS and I found a sold one, I can actually add a listing myself, or we can go back and change some of these filters. I did have sold checked, so unfortunately not any have sold. To show you guys, I'm gonna find an example with the buyer packet to show you what that looks like. So here I am. I have my 13 listings. I'll scroll down and I'm going to hit continue. And I have great news, everyone. Kevin is going to join us here in 5 minutes. So we'll have a little reinforcement, help hopefully get to some of these questions. Okay. So Kevin will be here in a moment. He can help us out. But for the time being, if you have a listing that you want to add that didn't make it on this CMA, let's just continue here. You would go to add custom listing. And it just brings you to that first page, and I could copy an MLS number. These are probably old. I've just saved a few. It's expired, and it's a condo, but I just want to show you all how you would just hit copy. It will populate, and you'll hit continue. So now again, that was at my listings. Now it just went up. It was at 13. Now it's at 14. So here are my listings, the ones that it's pulling from. It's going to give me all this information. If I want to delete it because I don't like it anymore, I can just click the little X to delete. On all of them, you can replace with a custom listing. So if you do, again, it's just going to take you to that that first page where we input the MLS number. We'll get it one more and I'll show you. And don't worry, I will do all of this again for you. So I hit continue. And if I like the one that I just added more, I can just hit replace with custom listing. And it will pull that information. This little house with the gear in it will show you that it is a custom listing. It is a new listing, okay? So again, now we have 15 because I just added those two. Scroll all the way to the bottom on all of these pages and you'll hit continue. Okay, so this is an interesting page to tell you, to talk about. It's actually not defaulted in the report. It's just pulling all that information. It pulls price per square footage, the average price of the, what they think that should go for that listing. I would always recommend doing a range. You never want to just give a set amount if you do want to include this page, but a lot of people are going to tell you just don't even include it, don't even fill it out. We shouldn't be pricing properties, obviously, before we go in and see them anyway. So this is just here to show the agent what the market value could be, just kind of giving you some insight, but it's not going to print on that presentation for your buyer, excuse me, for your seller unless you would tell it to. Okay, so now we get to the part where we can kind of customize and personalize this, add some pages, get rid of some pages. So this is the first page. This would be where I put my seller. You guys would put, you know, the name of those individuals. And then each one of these pages, this is the default presentation. So to our valued customers, here's a page that is automatically in there, built on tradition. So I'm just clicking on this menu option over here. So you can click on it, preview one. Okay, and you'll see next to each one of these pages, there's these 3 dots. So if I didn't like a page, I could hit remove and I could just delete it. if I really like a page and I want to move it up, I just drag it. So I'm just clicking and dragging this. If I want this to be the second page, I can just drag it. And then from property summary down, there's always, I'm going to show you. So under your pages, there's going to be report pages, and then there's going to be brokerage pages. So right now, this is just a default presentation. When I clicked the pages button, report pages, it's always going to be these 13 right here. So report pages, there's that pricing analysis, price and size. If you wanted to add it, you would click the add. You can click on the page first, and it's going to show you what that looks like. If you don't like it, you just close out of it. You don't have to hit add. Again, the estimate comparison, if you like this page, you can just hit add up here. If you don't, you can hit X. All right, agent profile. Again, these are all part of that report page. So this is going to pull in from your profile on My Web Admin, which is it's our next webinar. So I will go over that on the 29th. Okay, and then there are some really cool pages over here under brokerage pages. So I do really like to give advice on how to really personalize this when you're doing it yourself. I would become very familiar with these brokerage pages when you make your template. So an example, I know there's one in here about staging your home to sell, staging the interior, staging the exterior. So that's a great page to print out for maybe someone who needs to do some staging or prepare. So under brokerage pages, I go under Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. This 35 means that there's 35 pages under this folder. And then let's go to the FAQs, the tips. So again, if you just want to look at some of these, you just have to click it. You don't have to add it. You can just click to preview. So this is for the buyer. I wouldn't want to include this one. I just hit the X. So staging your home for sale exterior. A lovely page already created by marketing that's branded with a little checklist. I love this. I want to add this. I click the add up here, and now that's going to be in my presentation. All right, the selling process. This looks like something they could be interested in. Let's click it. Again, I can preview. It goes through each different step. If I like it, I hit add. And now it says it's added to the presentation. Okay, so I can go back to my report or go back to my presentation by hitting pages up here. And the pages that we've just added will always default to the bottom. Didn't I hit add? I thought, oh, they're at the top. All right, so you'll want to move those again by clicking and dragging. So wherever you want it in your presentation, you click and you would drag. You can click it again. If you don't like it, you can get rid of it by clicking the 3 dots. Or if you just want to view a PDF of it and then print it, the 3 dots, view PDF. All right, and so that's the print view. So let's just double check that we like all of this. Let's go to view up here, and we're going to go to the web view. The cool thing about Hanna presentations is that it's a dynamic URL for every presentation you make. So for example, if I make a presentation for an appointment in a month from now, it's going to pull that search and edit and update based on what has sold, what's newly listed, what's contingent. It's going to change. So that URL is actually going to update pretty much forever. They can click that, in a couple months, and it's going to give new, accurate, updated information. The presentation I'm showing you now is the web view. That's also tablet friendly. So if you wanted to buy a cheap tablet, you can actually open your Hanna presentations on that tablet and and present this, you don't have to print it out. You can always send this in an email and then have it printed as well. I'll show you that. So I'm scrolling down, and here we are, my first presentation for my new seller. And you hit the down arrow, and then we are at the page I just added, staging your home for exterior, valued customers. Here's all those, the defaulted presentation that Howard Hanna has created. Let's say they just want to get down to their property and comparing some of those. So you actually can hit this little hamburger button down here in the corner. Do you guys all see where I am? You can click that and then say, I just want to go down to some of the comparative properties. So page 15, my side-by-side comparisons, I can click it. And the subject property will always be on the left. Even when you print, the subject property will always be on the left side of that page with the comparables right next to it, showing, you can scan or scroll down and look at all of them next to one another. You have this arrow over here. So you notice when I go to the next page, the subject property is still here on the left. Okay. So Kevin is here. Kevin, any questions that I should be answering now or? Okay. All right. So that's how this view, or this is the web view. This does print. There's a print version. So I'm going to go back to Hanna presentations up here. If I go to the view, I can go to the PDF print. So even if someone doesn't have email or they want a hard copy of it, you can send them the link and say, please review for our presentation for our meeting tomorrow or Friday or whatever it may be, and then have this printed. It will take a little bit of time. It is a hefty document. So you can print from this page, or you can always click, download, save as, and then put that property, save that property to your desktop, and then even send the PDF if you wanted. Keep in mind that if you're using the PDF, that's obviously not going to update like the dynamic URL would. So this right now is 59 pages. I would probably want to limit that a little bit. I could go back and delete. But this is, again, you saw exactly how it looks online. It prints very friendly. It's beautiful. It's branded. So you would just, hit download and you can save it. And there's the web view, just to show you guys the differences. Let's get to some of these report pages. All right, so this is printing all of the photos. You don't have to do all that. I would recommend making a presentation for your own property. Put your home in there, or just do one for practice. You can see what it looks like. I'd recommend printing a PDF of it, maybe taking some notes before bringing something like this to your clients or to your potential clients. Shows them that you went through everything. And I told you that pricing page will not be in here. So that pricing page is just for the agent to kind of get some intel on the property and what all the comps are saying it should be worth. If you wanted to add it, you can, but recommend probably leaving it out. All right, so now that we've added some of these pages, we've added the, staging the home, the selling process, I like this presentation. And the next time I do a CMA for one of my potential listings, I don't want to have to go through and delete some pages and add some pages. So at the bottom, I'm going to hit Save as Template. The seller template, and I want to put this as seller presentation. I'll hit save. And now the next time I want to make a presentation, when I go back to my homepage for Hanna presentations, if I hit create new, seller, that template should be down here, seller template 2018. So, or seller presentation, that's the one I think I just made. So you could click that and hit continue. It's for Kate, prepared for Kate. And now all of those pages will be in there. The ones you've deleted will be gone. The ones you've added will show up. Good. Okay, I do want to show some other options of what you can do with Hanna presentations. All right, so we're going to make a buyer presentation because there's a ton of handouts in that, you know, how to add a page. There's a ton of handouts in there that I think everyone should be either familiar with, whether they want to put it in a presentation or just have them printed. But I'm going to hit Create New. I want a buyer presentation. And for now, I'm not going to use a template, I'm just going to use a default one. And we're going to prepare this one for Kate. Kate's got to buy and sell. So the only difference on the search when it comes to the buyer presentation and the seller presentation is this lovely thing down here called drive time. So if you have a buyer who only wants to be, 10 minutes from their job, they can go ahead and put in, or you can put in their workplace. It's already found me, right? So down here on that first page, I just put in my job and I'll hit continue. Okay, and then we do drive time search. So I need to get to work by 8:30 and I don't want to drive more than 15 minutes. So it's going to pull what would be in that drive time, 15 minutes to arrive at my job at 8:30 a.m. I still want to use some filters. So right now there is about 5,600 listings that are within 15 minutes of my job, and that's a lot. So we are going to say I at least need 3 bedrooms. I want 2 baths. Only 1 active. And let's see what that brings up. 345. So I need to limit that again. Let's put in a max price, or let's go min price, 200,000 and a max of 300,000. All right, so 64 listings. So there's still a pretty good amount here. Again, you can just keep filtering. If I want, I'm trying to think if there's something else. Maybe we'll go 250. All right, 22 listings. That's not as bad. So again, there's the 3 views. And the thing I forgot to mention about the 3 different views, the map view, the list view, and the card view, would be how it views in that print as well and in the web presentation. So there will be a map view, there'll be a list view, and a card view. So the map view, I don't like this one as much just because it's kind of difficult to come over here and click. I like looking at the list or the card view. So I scroll up, I'm going to hit the list. And here I can look. Oh, I can hear. Okay, I can hear myself on your phone. How's the audio, everyone? There's no echo, is there? Okay, good. Okay, so if I want to include it, I just, again, click include. If I want to include all of them, I can just hit select all. This is the list view. Or if I want the card view, I told you it's like little baseball cards. I really like this view. So far, they're all selected.
Somebody is asking.
Oh, the 22 listings. Okay, so the listings will always update up here in one of the, he just told me to repeat the question, and sure enough, I didn't. So the question was, where do I see the number 22 for the listings? It will always be up here in your menu bar, and it actually updates. So if I wanted to unclick one, it will go to 21. If I want to unclick, another, it goes to 20. So it will always tell you how many you have right up here based on, I can hit them all off, and now I'm back at 0. So you need to make sure. A lot of the times people think it's just going to pull all of these and create the presentation. You have to select the ones that you want.
And can you review?
Yes. So the filter, the question was, can you review where the filter is on the screen? So this little drop down right here, this is one of the most important buttons that you'll need to become familiar with. You have to click this down, and there you have, beds, bathroom, square footage, the type of property status, and scroll down over here. So you can see, changed in the last 90 days, it's going to default to 90. You can make that 180, 365, 45, whatever you want. And then hit search. Okay, so I selected all of these. I want to show, Kate the buyer, all of these. I scroll down, make sure that I like them all, and I hit continue. Let's say that there's a property I know Kate might like, but it's not within that drive time. Maybe it's a minute or two over. Again, the add custom listing over here with the little red gear inside of that house, you just click that, and it's going to bring you to that first page where you would enter the MLS data or actually add the address. If you change your mind and you don't want to, you can just go back to the listings page. All right, on the side, it tells you, the average price, what's the high price, the beds to baths, square footage, and it links to these different numbers. So you can get kind of a quick snapshot over here. If there's one that you don't like, you can just click out of it and remove it. I like all of them. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to hit continue. So the pricing is not going to matter for this because it's not a seller. So I'll just hit continue and get out of this page. And now I'm at my buyer packet. Some things I would really recommend for the buyer packet, you might want to create one that has like a first-time home buyer, create a template for that because there's a ton of finance information that you can put in here. So if I go to my add page again, adding page, add from library, and I'll show you how to create your own page and how to upload your own PDF. But right now we're just going to go, I'm on my presentation page, I go add page, add from library.
Question came up, can you just put the city where the job is? You don't need the address.
The question was, for the drive time, can you just put a city? You do need to have the full address for it to work. Okay, so I clicked I clicked on pages. Again, there's the 13 report pages and then brokerage pages. So there's 102 pages that you can pick from for your buyer packet. So Kate's never bought a home before. She doesn't really know what to do, how the finances work. Let's say I'm going to go to my financial services folder. And let's look at this, items needed at loan application. I do want to tell everyone that the pages that I'm showing you on my brokerage pages could be different based on my market or my state. So some people will have different pages in there that they can choose to add. I'd recommend just going through, we're getting to kind of the holiday season, it's a little bit slower. Just go through and look at all of those pages and really take notes of the ones that you like. So items needed at loan application. I love this one. I love check marks. I'm going to click add. All right, second opinion program. Kate already talked to someone, but I want her to work with a Hanna finance manager. So I like this idea. I'm going to click add. Keep in mind, there are 102 pages that you can pick from to really customize your packet. Let's go back to some of those brokerage pages. And the Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has a lot of good stuff in there. So I like the FAQ. I think I mentioned this before. So again, you have a buyer, they've never bought. Maybe they need to know what inspections to prepare for. To view, to preview any of them, you just click it. If I really like it, I'm going to hit add, and I close out. All right, the buying process, let's look at this one. This is great. I'm going to tell Kate to print this and to put it on her fridge so she can check off and put dates where she needs. I'll hit add, and now it's added. Okay, so let's go to my pages. So here's my report, or here's my presentation. The ones I've just added are here at the top. I want to move them down a little bit. So I just click and drag. And just put them wherever you need. I'm not really looking where these are. I would probably spend some time making a bit more strategic order here, but just for the sake of time, wanted to show you that. So let's say the award ceremonies are coming up. You have a lot of awards. You want to put them in for a seller packet or a buyer packet. There's a way you can actually upload PDFs. So under Add Page, Create New. If I wanted to upload a PDF page, so choose a file, and I'm going to show one that you guys all have access to. I pledge to buyers. So marketing has a lot of these pre-made pages that you can edit on a publisher doc on Hanna. So you can search my pledge to buyers, and it's already done for you. You just put your picture on the bottom, and I wanted to add this. So I had it saved as a PDF, and I hit upload. Maybe I want to add another one. Upload PDF. I find another one. Howard Hanna Services, this looks great. Let's open that one. Okay, and here's another great page that you can download, put your picture on the bottom, and save it as a PDF. So you spend all this time uploading all of these pages. The next time you come in and you want to add one of those pages, it's going to be under Library. And then My Pages. So I've uploaded 25 pages here. Codes for Kids page, Howard Hanna Services, you know, a resume page you can just type up and create if you want. But once you've uploaded them one time, you don't have to worry about uploading them again. It's going to be saved on your Howard Hanna Presentations cloud memory. It's already there, and you would just come in here. Buyer packet pages, buyer testimonials, it's already in here. I uploaded it in July. I would just hit add. So now I have 22 listings, pages, 24 pages. And you can drag and save as a template if you want. So let's just double check that we like how this looks. Before I forget, I did want to show, so there's no image here. This is a buyer presentation. There's a ton of logos of images on Howard Hanna's Facebook page, on Hanna. So if you wanted to upload one, you would have to go back to that first page, subject property, and I'm going to find a new photo. Kevin said to put a photo of him up there, but We want to sell the property, so. All right, so I'm going to click the home happens here. It's a lovely one, and you'll see it's going to populate there. I go back to my pages, and there's that first, that image I just uploaded. So view, let's look at the web view. Keep in mind, this is going to change. So if you have a buyer presentation and they want to keep track of all of the new properties that fit their criteria, they would just have a URL, and I'm going to show you how to get that here in a moment. But you know, you scroll down, you're on your first page, prepared for Kate, and there's my pledge to the buyer. That's the one that I just added. And then there's the Howard Hanna Services flyer. Buyer testimonials, fun things like that. So let's say we added the second opinion program. Here it is. It looks great. I like it. If I want to send this, I'm going to click the little send right next to it. And send presentation is going to be that URL so that when Kate opens it, whenever she opens it, it's going to have any new active property that fits her criteria. So I'm going to put her email in there. Subject, and then, you know, hi Kate, and then I would have some message already prepared. You know, here's a link. You can click it from your phone, from your tablet, from your email, and it's going to bring all this new information on listings that fit your criteria. I send it, and Kate will get. Oh, it didn't save my name. And Kate will now get a link that she can open tomorrow, in a month, in 6 months. I'm going to send it to her. I say, please review this. We have our tour that we're going to see these homes this weekend. View, I could go to the print view, and then I can have one actually printed out and saved for her. So it'd be a great way to have a sit down with your client. Here are some things you need for loan app. You know, don't buy a new car in the middle of the mortgage process. There's all these different handouts on Hanna presentations under those brokerage pages that you can actually add to your presentation and save as a template. So I'm going to save this one here. I scroll to the bottom, save as template, and this one I'm just going to put as buyer example, and I save. So you can upload, if you have a list of testimonials that you've printed out, if you have like a buyer checklist, any inspector info, or maybe moving companies in the area, you can have all that typed out and printed, saved as a PDF, and then added to your presentation just to make it much more personal and kind of all-inclusive. So I go home. Last thing I'm going to show you, it's pretty simple. We're going to go over quick flyers. So, quick flyer. I just added a property earlier today, this expired property. Once it's in, you can go, when it's done, you can click the More button over here and hit Create Quick Flyer. Or if it's already in there and you have an open house coming up, from that home screen again, so here's my home screen. I can just click the little 3 dots. Oh, I thought it was view presentation. Right. Sorry, guys, you actually do have to click the little edit button. Oh, I'm on a buyer presentation. I'm sorry, guys. Let's find my seller presentation. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so the 3 dots under the property that I just added, and that's something good to mention. As soon as you edit or add a property, it's going to be the first one. This is timelined, so that's why it changed positions. So I hit the 3 dots. I want to go to Quick Flyer, Create Quick Flyer. And there's 7 different layouts. There's portrait layouts, and then there's landscape. I like layout 2. So I click layout 2 and I hit select. And then I click title and I would put, open house this weekend. You'll notice up here that this 24 characters, it's in green. That means that it's going to fit on all of these flyers. If I kept typing, now it's yellow. So it's telling me that we might not be able to fit all this on the flyer. And now it's red. So when it's red up here, it's not going to fit. So open house this weekend, and I hit next, and then I click on the main image. It's going to pull from the MLS. If you have a high-res photo on your computer or saved to your desktop, I would upload that and the one that you have on your desktop, browse and find a prettier photo, just so it doesn't print very pixeled. Additional images, it's going to pull the next 3. If you don't like those, you can change them. If you want to show the basement or the backyard, not the kitchen, you can click that. Description. So right now it's pulling from the remarks. It's red right here. See how this is red? It's not going to fit on any of those flyers. So I have to delete a lot. Okay, now I know it's going to work on all. It's green. I might want to type a little bit more. I hit next, and then 5, listing details. So you can pick up to 7. So right now it's only choosing 3. So I want to add community, I want to add school district, property type. I got one more, add year built. I want to put the year built up first. You just click these arrows up. If I don't want community in there, I just unclick it. If I want to add, if it has air conditioning, I can add that. So right here it has up, add 7 of 7. The price, it will pull from the MLS. You can change that if you have a new open house. If you have an open house because of the reduction, just change it. And then you can't really change these programs. You can unclick, but there's really no reason you would want to. And then hit next. View. All right, and here is my lovely, I didn't add any of those photos, but there would be the 3 right there. And it would be, pretty ready to go. It took me 2 seconds. I just, would hit print and post it at, community buildings, at the office, and print a bunch for my open house. If I want to change it back to layout, I can print a different one. I can choose a different one, select that, and save it. Few things that you'll notice on your home page. So this little, these 2 little people, that means that there's a co-presenter. A co-presenter means that both of our faces are going to show up at the bottom. If you have an assistant that makes these and you need your face on it, you can actually hit assign and assign it to an agent. So anyone has access to make a Hanna presentation. Once it's been assigned, however, it will be off of this screen. You won't have it anymore. It will be given only for that agent. If you hit edit co-presenter, both those individuals will have access. They'll both have the little 2 people on there. Okay, there will be later on a maybe more advanced class about how to add photo or add pages on the web. But for now, just because we have about 5 minutes, we're going to try to conquer some of these questions.
Hey everybody, I'm going to try to answer some of your questions online here so that you can read them, and I sent them to all so everybody can read some of the answers here. Some of them I wanted to go by and make sure that everybody hears the question and sees the answer. One of the questions, can everybody hear me okay, by the way? I hope so. You are breaking up. You are very muffled. Is that any better? Okay. So the first question here is, sorry, I'm scrolling. The default presentation shows around 19 pages. which can be expanded within the presentation to show all the photos. If someone wants to print the presentation, is there anywhere to set the default to one or fewer pages? Yes. So all you have to do when you are working on a presentation, in the pages section, when you are getting ready to, sorry, I'm trying to scroll here and I don't have a mouse. Bear with me for 1 sec, please. Okay. There we go. So when you look at the listing overview, you can click on the gear, and this will show you that you have all of the photos from the listing, and then you can turn these off, and you can also get this out of my way. You can also show a minimum number of photos. So I think by default it shows like all of the photos. Kate has this one set up to show only 9. What you can also do is just say, I don't want to show any of the extra photos. I only want to show the main photo of each property and the listing information underneath it. So that will save you a lot of paper when you're going to print the PDF. Okay. Kate, did you show how to add properties by MLS number? Okay, just want to make sure. Wow, we got a bunch of questions coming in here. Last time I did a quick flyer, the word county printed twice and the year the home was built did not calculate right for the quick flyers. Who handles those fixes? Thanks. Anything like that you come across where it's not pulling the right information, or you expect one result and you're getting another result, I highly suggest you contact the Hanna presentation support information. Okay, just pulled it up on the screen. So you'll see they have a dedicated email number or email address, and they also have a dedicated phone number. And this is a number, you see that they're open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is actually a number that goes directly to MoxieWorks, who built the engine, who runs presentations here. So they're very, very, very familiar with what you can and can't do and get things answered for you. I'm sorry. Yes, they are based in Seattle, so that's why the West Coast time. All right. I couldn't figure out how to enter my new subject property that has never been on the MLS before.
How to add a property that's never been on the MLS? You actually just have to, we'll prepare this one for Kevin. Just manually put that information in. You don't have to put in, you don't have to fill in everything. If you don't want, I'd recommend definitely the location and then some of the subject property information so that it's able to get, good comparables. You don't need to fill in the remarks. And obviously, if it's never been for sale, you're not going to be able to fill in this bottom part. But you do have to just kind of fill in some of this information yourself manually from that first page.
What if you want to do a flyer you did not do a presentation for? Quite simply, all you have to do is start a new presentation, populate it with the MLS number for that particular property, And then in the once you've done that, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the word more, and you'll see create quick flyer. You do not have to go through the whole process. Just get that started new, and remember it needs to be a seller presentation. And then go ahead, pop in the MLS number, and then create your quick flyer. What about a flyer for someone else's listing? Yes, you can actually do that. So if you're let's say you're sitting in on an open house for another agent, you can go in and put in that MLS number. And when you create the quick flyer, because you are in your own account, it will put your information on the flyer. Can the flyer be emailed? Yes, you simply save the, once you've created a quick flyer, if you save it to your computer, simply just attach it to an email and you can send it off. One of the questions I get on that is, can you embed it into the body of an email? And that's not possible because you cannot embed a PDF into the body of an email. Can you upload it to Facebook? The quick flyer?
Or the presentation.
The flyer. She said the flyer. The only way I could think to do it to Facebook would be is if you had something that can convert your PDF into a JPEG image, but it would be really, really small and probably not very legible. However, what you could do is you could copy the link of the electronic presentation and post that URL in the social media and do that.
You're also able, this is kind of a workaround with that, but if you email, if you send the PDF and you open it on your phone, you can screenshot it and then post it on social media from the screenshot. I can show that. You can give me a call personally and we can walk through that.
Out of time here, I'm going to answer one more question. The question was, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Do you know how far back it can pull data from the MLS? How many years? The question is, the answer is, it depends on the MLS, but the majority of the MLSs that we are signed up with, it goes back 2 years to the first of the year. So right now we're in November of 2018, so it's pulling from January 1st of 2016. When we go into 2019, it'll jump up to pulling from the 1st of 2017. So 2 years back to the first of the year is the rule of thumb on that.
All right. So if there's any other questions, we'll fill them out and send an FAQ. I hope that was helpful. If you have any other questions, again, you can always go to the support for Hanna presentations or give me a call or an email. Same with Kevin. The next one is going to be Thursday, the 29th. We take a break for Thanksgiving. So Thursday, the 29th will be on agent websites. Again, back on Thursdays from 10 to 11. Hope to see you guys all then. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.